these people have intentions of controlling men, whatever it takes, simply because they know that purposeful men who have an intention to achieve something, they are very dangerous and they can do anything to achieve it. The intention is to ensure that men are weak, they are not standing up for themselves, and this way they are very docile to control. This is one of the most deadly epidemics that have hit the society of today. I mean, the young men, the young women in the society, they have been actually in one or another destroyed by this stuff. You have to understand, especially for men with purpose are very hard to control. That is just a fact. And the elite establishment, these people have intentions of controlling men, whatever it takes, whatever it freaking takes. And that's why you will find that whenever men try to come together and just build that brotherhood, a gang of men, like some boys who are united for some purpose, you find that they are being just destroyed like so freaking quick, simply because they know that purposeful men who have an intention to achieve something, they are very dangerous and they can do anything to achieve it. And that is why they have come to a position of doing whatever it takes. That is why you can see Pride Month, it is just going like that, you know. That is why you can see things like, I don't know, the Paris shit that just happened. It's simply because they want to satisfy men, you know. The intention is to ensure that men are weak, they are not standing up for themselves. And this way, they are very docile to control. They are very docile to be like, do this and he does, do that and he does. Be a slave and without questioning. They know that very clearly. They know as well, untamed bullish men who stand for their freedom are dangerous to elite establishment. That is just a fact. You have to understand, when men arise, it's just a revolution, man. Things must change. The same thing we saw, by the way, with Gen Zs. That is what happened. They said enough is enough. That is all it is. And if you are in a position of just understanding how powerful you being as a man is, you wouldn't be taking it for granted, bruv. They are attacking it from all sides. It means it has some value, and you have to exploit it before they just blow it off. You get me? So, as a matter of fact, they started developing the psychological game against men, the psychological tactics that are just formulated against men. And who am I talking about? These are people who are controlling the society. Those are people who are controlling the mass media, you know, the media machines, the propaganda machines and all this stuff. These are the people who are controlling the governments, the businesses, to ensure that you are a slave, to ensure that you don't think outside the box. You just remain their consumer and nothing less, nothing more. You have to understand, these people's intentions are clearly bad. They don't intend you to be the best version of yourself. They don't intend for you to just achieve your dreams and just become that freaking gangster of a man that you want to be. They don't want that. And we will look deep into that just right now, simply because it gets even much more darker. Simply because if they really cared about you, then the things that I'm about to talk about wouldn't be happening. Wouldn't be happening for men. I mean, the Pride Month, I don't know. Gay, what the fuck is that? How can they even be in a position of allowing such kind of a thing? You know? And if you look clearly, it is all intended against the men. All these arguments, all these pedophiles, all these plans and all this stuff, they're all made against men to ensure that they remain to be slaves. And that is what it is. The intention is to keep you down, broke, and miserable. They will ensure that you are not informed of anything. You don't know how the world is operating. You don't know what is AI. You don't know how to operate a computer or shit. They will just ensure that you are dummy enough in such a way when they tell you do this, you just do simply because you don't know, out of ignorance, out of they're just exploiting your unknowingness. You get me? Your dumminess. And that is just what they are doing. They don't want you to be more informed, and that is why they take you to school. As a matter of fact, schooling will inform you on things that they want them to. They want you to know. They will inform you on how to be a good employee. They will inform you on how to obey your employers. They will inform you how to use your paycheck, you know. They will inform you to pay your bills. They will inform you to follow, to listen what the government is telling you and just do it, you know. They'll just inflict the discipline to you. They will never teach you what they are actually doing. And what they are doing, they are playing the mind game. We are living in a monopoly, people. A monopoly whereby the elite are controlling these common men. The elite are just directing the common man's life without them knowing. You just have to understand that, simply because when you go to school, they're not in a position of teaching you about psychology, of which in a daily freaking basis they are using it against you. And if you don't understand that game, guess what? You will always lose. You get me? Secondly, they are not teaching you in school about money, are they? Banking. They are not. They cannot teach you ways of making more money. You get me? Why? Simply because they want you to be who they want you to be, not who you think you want to be. That is just a raw fact. And if you, as a man, you don't sit down and just realize that, then I don't know how dumb you are. Simply because life is moving quick, and unless you are moving, then you will remain being a slave. That is just a fact. As a matter of fact, every convenience they bring, every convenience, like every I don't know, phones, social media, like couches, comfortable televisions, mass media, news, everything, football, Olympics, all this shit they bring to you. They bring the convenience. They try as much enough to bring you the convenience, simply because they know when a man is convenient enough, he cannot be in a position of thinking or making any choices by his rational mind. He's just doing what he's being told to do, simply because it is very easy and convenient. They're making it so easy in such a way you don't have to make the hard decision to do it. You get me? That is what it is. They're just using your psychology against you. You get me? And that is why they will never be in a position of teaching you how the system operates, how the establishment is actually run. They will only teach you how you can be used as a freaking slave to run the establishment without you knowing. You will just be taught how to be exploited. That is just a raw fact. Look at it. A dude goes to campus, and on top of that, he's told that by the government we can give you a lot of loans and all this stuff. So that dude is so freaking happy because that is all he knows. Oh, a loan, so I will be able to study. Good. He takes the loan, he enjoys, and then but then, if you noticed, while applying for the loan, they were asking some stupid questions. What should the money be used for? Crabbing. I don't know shit. Actually, what they're doing with that, they're playing with your psychology in such a way that you don't think of growing the money. You're just in a position of thinking of how you can just utilize the money like freaking weirdo. You get me? After giving you the money in campus, then you get out here. You now have a load on your back. You are a heavy freaking load. You're like, I have 500k of loan, education loan. How am I going to pay it? Then they tell you you'll get a good job. You get me? And that good job will be paying you. After it pays you, then you can repay the loan slowly. And guess what? When you get to that good job, it comes with its taxes, everything, your housing, man, it's just fucked up, man. That's you don't want to live that life. Like, no, just be in a position of changing it. We just have to change it. At the end of it all, when you don't manage to build that dream house that you want, then they tell you, because you have a good job, we can, and you're not going to leave the job as soon as possible, we can give you a mortgage so that you can be in a position of becoming a house owner. And on top of that, hey, it comes the loan for the next 30 years. So now you are a slave for the job for the next 30 years, and then you are a slave for your school loan and your house loan. And on top of that, because they see you cannot achieve to buy your car, then they tell you, we can give you a car, like a mortgage car, something of the sort. And then you're like, damn, yes, I would love to drive my car. Then you take your car. It's just freaking laughable, man. It's just laughable. You have to understand, they're not teaching you how they are playing against you. And if you look very clearly, all these choices, all this system that you went through, you didn't choose it. Look at it. Go to school. Who told you to go to school? It wasn't you. It was probably your mom, because she was told by the government to do so. Otherwise, she would go to jail. Secondly, after school, go to I don't know, campus. You can choose your courses. Are you really interested in those courses? Is that really the life that you want? You know, you find someone doing, I don't know, engineering, yet his dream is not even that. His dream is just living the life that he wants. You're doing engineering for the next 30 years, for the next 8 years to be a professional. 8 years, bruv. You would have built whatever you want. Like so freaking quick, and just become rich. You get me? After that choice, they just give you an opportunity. It's just an illusion. When you get to campus, you get an illusion of choice. They tell you that you can choose. Otherwise you can't, because you can only choose if you had passed the previous class. You get me? That's just the criteria that they use. After that, you come out here, they tell you you can find a good job, then you can be in a position of repaying your loan. Fuck, this is just fucked up. You just have to understand, the system is not for you, and it is all meant to desensitize men. Like freaking crazy, man. The game is well set against your life. It is well set against your dreams, against everything that you want to achieve in life. That is just a raw fact, bruv. You get me? For instance, if you look at the media machine, what does it propose to you every now and then? The social media, everything that they are pushing to you. What are they pushing to you? What do you really enjoy watching on those social media that you get hooked for the next 5 hours? That woman juggling her tits or what? You know? I don't know. Like, just shitty, repetitive videos that are not making any sense to your dreams or your ambitions or anything that you want to achieve. You get me? And that is why they will never teach you anything else. Simply because they just want you to be distracted by this tiny pressure chasing shit. Because when you do that, you won't be in a position of focusing on what you have to do. That is just a raw fact. You just have to understand, the social media is pushing a lot of sexualized content, especially to men. It is pushing a lot of this content to men simply because they want men to And if you look very clearly, their plan have really worked simply because men today are very sissified, very weak. Men are not strong. They are not like massive like Rambo, you know. They don't have the muscles, the quads and all this stuff. They are just weak. They cannot have the courage to step for themselves. You know. They have sunken chests and all this shit. Why? They didn't intend you to be strong. They didn't. The intention is to make you weak, so freaking weak that you are docile. You are a docile bull. You get me? A bull that can be told, go here, go there, go just like that, and then you die, and they're done with you. That is why they're pushing so much sexualized content to your feed. And if you look at most young men's WhatsApp statuses, I don't know, social media's histories and all this, these people have been watching garbage, you know, soft porn with ladies, I don't know, with, it's actually disgusting, man. It's disgusting. The other thing is the music that they push. The music is crazy. Man, stop listening to this shit. Doesn't make any sense, you know. Cha kusikiza wasee sijui wako na manyimbo zinakaa sijui aje. Those songs are not intended to make you even any stronger, man. Listen to songs that empower you to become the best. Listen to songs that pull you closer to God. Listen to songs that actually push you ahead to doing what you're supposed to do. That is what it is. The other thing is movies that they are pushing nowadays, they're just so freaking weak. The intentions is just to ensure that men are not inspired to do anything. Men are not inspired to be heroes, you know. And if you look clearly, they're exploiting it simply because men really admire to be like heroes, like technically speaking. And that is why they didn't have heroic movies, you know. Star Wars, I don't know all this stuff. That's what it is, and they are exploiting that and just bringing sissified movies which will just destroy men slowly by slowly. And men will continue being sissified every now and then to their deathbed. Videos, I don't know, video games, everything that is destructive. You just have to understand that these people are not intending for you to become the best version of yourself. They are not intending for you to become as strong as an ox. They're not intending for you to become as rich as I don't know what. They are just not intending for you to become the best version of yourself. All these things they are bringing to your doorstep is simply distraction. Distraction so that you forget what your purpose is. Distraction so that you become miserable because you are not consistent to the purpose that you are meant to achieve, simply because men without purpose are actually so freaking miserable. These men cannot be in a position of chasing anything. They're just drinking, they're just smoking weed, they just don't have direction. That's what they want. Because if they didn't really want that, they would have taken all those shit away. The weed, the pornographic sites, everything, all this stuff would have been taken down long ago. But as a matter of fact, we see them running. Why? It's not that they don't have the power to do that. It's not that they don't know all the potholes where these shits happen. They know them. But guess what? They decide to turn a blind eye simply because they know they are sissifying men. That is what it is. You have to understand, as a man, you have to cut off every other distraction that is stopping your doorstep. Otherwise, if you don't, you are well headed on your way. You are supporting your own distraction. And that will be absolutely foolish of you. Be the best. Just go out there and just decide to be who you are supposed to be. Whatever it takes. Whatever it freaking takes. Because it must be a war, man. It must be a war. And if you don't fight, then you will lose it. Be the best. And by the way, if this video actually gives you some value, could you consider subscribing See you in the next one. Adios.